Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next level tactics. From offsite and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition. Now, here's your host, Timothy Carter.
Thanks for joining me on the podcast. Today we're going to run through 7 common content roadblocks. And these are the 7 the most common roadblocks I see in the content marketing world these days. Number 1 would be topic troubles. That first pain point is usually comes before you even write an article. A great article must start with a great topic. So if you can't think of any great topic ideas, you can find yourself in a difficult position. The same can be said if the topics you do come up with fail to have an impact on your target audience. And you can measure this based on how many clicks your headlines are getting. In either scenario, the solution is to look in new places for topic inspiration. Start with industry news sources to help you stay up to date and discover new info about your niche. And then move on to the blogs and websites of your competitors. That's all very important too. Learn from what they're doing and what do their customers like to read about. Just don't copy their strategy exactly, of course. Number 2, voice inconsistency. Many content marketers underestimate the importance of brand voice consistency. Your entire company's identity is represented by its brand, and it's up to you to showcase that brand accurately. If you deviate from the characteristics that define your brand or publish blogs with inconsistent tones, your audience can then quickly become alienated. However, diagnosing these problems, can be difficult for even the most experienced content marketers. So you can address the problem by gathering all your writers together and doing collective exercises that highlight what is and what is not appropriate for the brand. Make sure everyone is on the same page by the end of the meeting and use one main editor to do a final review of all the subsequent articles before they've been published. Another roadblock is publication rhythm. Too many business owners and marketers think that content is all about writing articles whenever you have time and publishing them whenever you think about it. This approach almost instantly kills the possibility of building a loyal audience. If you want people to keep coming back to you for more, you have to have a reliable, predictable schedule. Like here with this podcast, we ever since we've started, 2020, we've been doing it every single day. Create an editorial calendar with clear and consistent publication dates. If you're just getting started, 1 post a week might be enough for your purpose. And then, assign responsible parties to ensure that those deadlines are met no matter what. Stay consistent. Another roadblock, distribution constraints. One of the most important stages of content marketing is distributing your material so that the greatest number of new people can see it. And typically that means, shopping your content around different offsite publishers and syndicating your content through various social media channels. But if you're having trouble getting your work published offsite, do an audit of the types of sources you're pursuing. Start off with local and industry specific sources to build your reputation, and make sure your topics fit in with their respective niches. Then work your way up to more authoritative sources and sites. So and if you're having trouble syndicating your content consistently, try scheduling your posts in advance and use that time you save to engage with your audience in one-on-one interactions. Communities can only develop through that engagement. Another roadblock, Resource allocation woes. God, who does? Money, money, money. Content marketing is a demanding strategy. 2 posts a week doesn't sound like a lot until you're in the thick of things, scrambling to get your post published while juggling all of your other responsibilities. Hiring a staff writer is one option, and hiring a freelancer is another. But one of the most valuable solutions is hiring a content agency to handle the work for you. Because content agencies are specialists. They're able to do the work faster, quicker, and more reliably than someone off the street, even if they have an impressive resume. 6th roadblock, anomalies in the data. At its foundation, marketing is all about gathering, analyzing, and applying data in meaningful ways. And when that data shows major hiccups or other anomalies, with no apparent explanation, it definitely can be worrisome. Let's say each of your posts get, 100 shares. And then one day, your posts start getting only 20 shares. These anomalies could be the result of a number of factors, from your search engine rankings to topics to random seasonal changes that are simply unpredictable. So instead of trying to figure out what the problem is, adjust your line of thinking and start figuring out what the problem isn't. Eliminate possibilities one by one until you've exhausted your resources or have found the problem. And the 7th common roadblock I see is, failure to scale. Stagnation is another problem that most content marketers face at one point or another. Obviously you want your audience and your traffic to grow steadily for months and years after your initial strategy development. Unfortunately, you'll likely hit a plateau at some point, generating interest, but little further growth. So when this happens, you got to inject your campaign with new life by adding additional content channels, seeking new types of publishers to host your content, or simply stepping up the quantity and quality of the articles you produce for your site. So as we wrap this up, when you hit one of these roadblocks or more as a content marketer, and as you invariably will, we all do, don't panic. It's a normal part of the ebb and flow of this strategy. All you can do is analyze the situation, respond accordingly, and continue to make adjustments to perfect your approach. And that's it for today's episode. So if you need some help scaling your ability to write content, utilizing the data you have to write quality content, come on over to SEO.co and schedule a time to have a free consultation. Learn how we can help you scale your ability to outwrite and outrank your competition.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.